There is a certain wisdom in silence, an unspoken power in restraint. The world is full of noise and chatter, and we are constantly urged to share, express, and expose our inner workings. But there is a deeper truth about human nature and the way the world operates. Never reveal your plan. This is not simply about keeping secrets, it's about understanding the dynamics of life, the nature of competition, and the complexities of human relationships. The truth is, in a world that is driven by competition and conflict, revealing your intentions too early can leave you vulnerable. Consider the way we approach goals. Every individual has ambitions, desires, and dreams. Some are small, personal goals, others are grand visions for the future. But no matter the scale, there is an undeniable truth. When you tell others about your plans, you invite judgment, criticism, and sometimes sabotage. Others, often unconsciously, may try to derail your efforts. It's not that people are inherently malicious, but rather that humans have a tendency to project their own fears and insecurities onto others. When you announce your goals prematurely, you risk not only their failure, but also their corruption. You may begin to doubt your own intentions or change your course in response to external pressures, losing sight of your original vision. In life, there are those who thrive on openness, who believe that sharing every step along the way is a form of validation. But there is a dark side to this openness. When you reveal too much too soon, you may find that the world is not as supportive as you expect. People, even those who appear to be allies, may harbor their own unspoken agendas. Your success, your growth may evoke feelings of jealousy or competition. Some may even attempt to mimic or one-up your plans, diverting your original course. In their pursuit of their own ambitions, they may inadvertently become obstacles in your path. It's not necessarily malice that drives them, but the desire to achieve or surpass what you are working toward. Then there is the power of mystery. When you keep your plans to yourself, you hold an advantage. The element of surprise becomes one of your greatest allies. If no one knows what you are about to do, they cannot prepare to stop you. They cannot criticize what they do not understand. The world remains unaware of your strategy, leaving you free to work without interference, to operate in the shadows where you can move unimpeded. This does not mean that you should work in complete isolation, however. Seeking counsel from those you trust, getting advice from people who have walked a similar path, is necessary. But even then, you must be discerning. Not everyone who claims to be a friend or mentor has your best interests at heart. Some people may seek to control you, others may simply not understand the complexities of your vision. By keeping the core of your plan to yourself, you allow for the possibility of self-directed growth and success without the limitations that others may impose, knowingly or unknowingly. We must also acknowledge the role of self-doubt in our decision-making. When you announce a plan, especially to others, you often open yourself to critique. This external criticism can influence your internal process. When you are on the brink of something significant, you are still learning, still shaping your approach. The last thing you need is to have someone tell you that it won't work or that it's not practical. This sort of feedback can throw you off balance, causing you to second-guess your instincts and hesitate. By keeping your plans to yourself, you can better listen to your own intuition, chart your own course, and build the confidence to move forward without unnecessary interference. Furthermore, revealing your plan prematurely can result in premature failure. There is a danger in thinking that once you announce your intentions, they must be followed through immediately. The moment you declare your goals, the world demands results. If you do not deliver, you face the disappointment of others, or worse, the ridicule. Keeping your plans private gives you time, space, and room to fail without judgment, to refine your approach, and to try again. Success is a process, not a single moment in time, and it often requires flexibility. If you are too quick to expose yourself to the opinions of others, you risk being shaped by their expectations rather than staying true to your own purpose. Now, this doesn't mean you should be deceitful. You are not lying or manipulating when you choose to withhold your plan. You are simply giving yourself the time and freedom to refine your ideas, to develop them fully before presenting them to the world. It's about giving yourself the chance to evolve, to learn, and to grow without the pressure of others' expectations. The act of revealing your plan also ties into the human desire for validation. We often seek recognition for the work we do even before it's done. This craving for external validation can be dangerous, leading us to share too much too soon, seeking approval from others who may not fully understand or appreciate what we are attempting. But validation comes from within, through your own sense of accomplishment and fulfillment, not from others' recognition. The more you rely on others for validation, the more susceptible you become to their opinions and criticisms. When you keep your plans to yourself, you remove the need for this validation and can operate with more autonomy and self-discipline. Another reason to keep your plans private is that it allows you to develop resilience. The journey toward achieving any meaningful goal is fraught with challenges, and not every setback is something that others need to see. If your goal is public, others will witness your failures, and it becomes harder to bounce back from those moments of doubt. But when you work quietly without revealing too much, you can experience your failures and learn from them without the added burden of external judgment. The act of restraint, of not revealing your plan, is not about hiding in fear or avoiding the world. It is about building strength, resilience, and confidence. It is about allowing your vision to take root and grow in the fertile ground of privacy, free from the corrosive effects of criticism and doubt. The world is unpredictable, and the forces that seek to derail your path are numerous. But by holding your plans close, by working in silence, you give yourself the best chance to succeed. And when the time comes to reveal what you've accomplished, it will speak for itself. This idea of restraint ties into something much deeper about the human psyche. It speaks to the importance of self-mastery and the inner discipline that must be cultivated if you are to succeed in the world. Most people, when they embark on something important, feel an overwhelming need to share their progress. There's a desire to be recognized, to gain encouragement, or sometimes even to get reassurance that they are on the right track. But this constant seeking of approval is a trap. It distracts you from your work and weakens your ability to trust yourself. By revealing your plan, you shift the focus away from the work itself and place it on the perception of others. We must remember that life operates on a different timeline than the one we are conditioned to believe in. The world moves at a pace that is often outside our control, and things rarely happen as quickly as we anticipate. By revealing your plans too early, you risk allowing others to impose their own timelines onto your process. You open yourself up to the pressure of needing to fulfill expectations that were not even yours to begin with. These external pressures can create a sense of urgency, leading you to make hasty decisions, abandon your path, or overextend yourself in a way that leads to failure. When you work quietly, when you keep your plans under wraps, you create the space necessary for things to unfold at their own pace. Another aspect of keeping your plans private is the protection it offers your own peace of mind. The more you talk about your plans, the more you invite external energy into your space. The opinions of others, even if they are well-meaning, can cloud your judgment and make it difficult for you to think clearly. You can become trapped in a cycle of second-guessing and self-doubt, constantly seeking reassurance from others. When you are working on something important, the need for clarity and focus becomes paramount. By guarding your plans and thoughts, you preserve that mental clarity, allowing you to stay centered on your goals without unnecessary distractions. In the same vein, when you keep your plans private, you remove the temptation to overanalyze. Human beings are prone to overthinking, to dissecting every detail and considering every possible outcome. While this can sometimes be useful, it often becomes a barrier to progress. The more you reveal your plans, the more you open the door to analysis paralysis. People will ask questions, offer advice, and challenge your every decision. This can cause you to overcomplicate things, to consider options that do not align with your original vision. The more you keep to yourself, the more you preserve the purity of your thoughts and ideas, allowing them to grow and evolve without interference. In this world, the loudest voices often receive the most attention, but noise does not equate to success. In fact, it can often be a sign of insecurity or a lack of understanding. Those who shout the loudest are often trying to convince themselves as much as they are trying to convince others. When you keep your plans private, you are not seeking validation or trying to impress anyone. Instead, you are focused on building something real, something tangible. You are grounded in the process, not distracted by the noise of the world around you. Silence allows for a deep, uninterrupted connection to the work itself. It fosters creativity and critical thinking in a way that constant validation simply cannot. Moreover, there is strength in doing the work without announcing it to the world. You prove your worth by your actions, not your words. When you keep your plans to yourself, you retain the control to direct your efforts in the most effective way possible. You are not pulled in different directions by external influences, and you are not swayed by the judgment or input of others. Your energy is focused and your progress steady. Every step you take is one that you own, one that you are responsible for, and that ownership provides a sense of empowerment that cannot be gained from seeking validation. There is a time for sharing your vision, a time for revealing your intentions to others, but that time should come after the work is done, after you have achieved something worth sharing. The world is a harsh and competitive place, and people will not always have the best intentions, no matter how close they may seem to you. By withholding your plans, you ensure that you are not prematurely subjecting yourself to the judgments of those who do not understand your journey. You protect yourself from unnecessary interference and give yourself the freedom to grow and change without fear of rejection or failure. And let us not forget that the journey to any great achievement is often riddled with uncertainty. If you are waiting for others' approval before you take action, you will likely find yourself stuck, paralyzed by doubt. Success does not wait for the perfect moment or the approval of others. It comes when you are able to trust yourself, your instincts, and your vision enough to move forward with quiet determination. By keeping your plans to yourself, you preserve the ability to adapt, to pivot when necessary, and to continue moving in the direction of your dreams, even when the path is unclear. When you keep your plans private, you also create a sense of inner peace that cannot be disturbed by the opinions of others. You are free to experience the highs and lows of the journey without the constant weight of judgment on your shoulders. The burden of external expectations can be suffocating, especially when those expectations come from people who do not understand your true vision. By shielding yourself from this pressure, you maintain your sense of purpose and drive. You preserve the integrity of your work and, most importantly, the integrity of your own mind. As you move forward in life, remember that there is great power in silence. There is a strength that comes from working quietly and steadily, from pursuing your goals without the need for constant validation or recognition. The less you reveal, the more you retain the control to shape your own destiny. Your journey is yours to define, and the less you share with the world before it is time, the more power you hold to create the outcome you desire. When we consider the idea of not revealing our plans, it's essential to recognize that the world itself operates in a subtle way that often escapes our notice. There is a profound truth in the silence of certain moments. The nature of growth is slow, and much like the roots of a tree, the most important work is done beneath the surface, out of sight from the world. If you focus too much on sharing your plans, you risk drawing attention to something that isn't yet fully formed. Too much exposure too soon will only expose your vulnerabilities. The true work of creation and progress is often hidden, occurring in private spaces where your thoughts can develop without unnecessary interference. People who understand this truth are often the ones who make the most significant strides in their lives. They work in silence, building their foundations one brick at a time, without needing to broadcast every detail of the process. They protect their vision fiercely, not out of fear, but because they understand how easily a dream can be crushed by the wrong words at the wrong time. There's a reason why the most successful individuals and innovators don't reveal their plans to the world until they've reached a point where their progress speaks for itself. They understand that the path to achievement requires focus, commitment, and the ability to remain undistracted by external noise. In a world driven by social media and constant communication, the temptation to share is amplified. Every milestone, every step, every idea feels like it needs to be broadcast to gain validation. But this constant exposure can be draining, not just for your energy, but for the integrity of your plans. When you put yourself out there too early, you inadvertently expose your vulnerabilities, and others, whether intentionally or not, can take advantage of that. There's an inherent danger in allowing others to see your ideas before they've had the chance to fully develop. The world is full of critics, many of whom may not have the capacity to understand your true potential. If you're not careful, you may find your progress impeded by well-meaning advice that's grounded in ignorance or insecurity. Moreover, there's something deeply sacred about the process of creation. When you're in the early stages of bringing an idea to life, it's fragile, it hasn't fully materialized yet. It requires your undivided attention, the solitude necessary to work out the complexities without distraction. When you reveal your plans prematurely, you risk letting the opinions of others distort your course. Some will advise caution, others will warn you of failure, and some might even discourage you from following through. It's in these moments that the strength to protect your vision becomes crucial. Not everyone is ready to hear your dreams, and not everyone has the wisdom to understand what you're working toward. The more you reveal, the more you expose yourself to the risk of losing clarity. One of the most insidious effects of sharing too much too soon is the way it shifts your focus from your internal motivation to external validation. Humans are social creatures, and it's natural to want recognition and approval from others. But this desire can become dangerous when it begins to dictate your actions. When you seek external validation for every step of your journey, you dilute your own sense of purpose. You begin to act not based on what you believe is right, but based on what others think you should do. This diminishes the power of your vision, the authenticity of your pursuit. By keeping your plans private, you remove the temptation to seek approval at every turn. You allow your actions to be driven solely by your internal compass, unhindered by the need to conform to anyone else's expectations. This need for validation often comes from a place of fear. The fear of failure, the fear of being judged, or the fear of not living up to potential. These fears are natural, they are part of the human condition. But they can also be paralyzing if we allow them to dictate our decisions. When you expose your plans too early, you make yourself vulnerable to these fears. You give them space to grow, to cloud your judgment, and to influence your actions. By keeping your plans to yourself, you protect yourself from these external forces and allow your vision to unfold at its own pace. This space to grow freely is invaluable, for it allows you to experiment, to fail, and to learn without the pressure of needing to justify every step you take. In addition to protecting yourself from external judgment, keeping your plans private also helps protect the integrity of your vision. Every idea, every goal starts as a seed. It requires nurturing and care to grow into something tangible. If you expose it too soon, it's like planting a seed and then exposing it to the harsh elements before it has had time to sprout. The world is full of forces that seek to undermine, distort, or co-opt your ideas. Once you reveal your plans, they are no longer just yours. They are open to interpretation, to modification, and to criticism. Some people may even try to take credit for your ideas or attempt to turn them into something that aligns with their own agendas. This is not necessarily malicious. Many people, even those who wish you well, will take what they can from what you give them. By withholding your plans, you preserve the purity of your vision, allowing it to grow according to your intentions. This preservation of integrity extends beyond others. It also involves protecting your own relationship with your ideas. When you keep your plans to yourself, you have the freedom to change and evolve your vision without being influenced by others' perceptions. Often, when we reveal our plans, we become attached to the version we've shared with the world, and we feel obligated to follow through with it, even if it no longer aligns with our original intention. The pressure to conform to what we've already communicated can be stifling. When your plans remain private, you are free to revise them, reshape them, or abandon them altogether if they no longer serve your purpose. The ability to remain flexible and adaptive is a powerful tool in a world that is constantly changing. The idea of keeping plans private is also connected to the importance of building trust in yourself. We often seek validation from others because we lack confidence in our own abilities. We are afraid that if we don't share our plans, we won't receive the encouragement or reassurance we need to continue. But this is an illusion. The truth is, if you don't trust yourself, no one else will. Trust is built through action, through the commitment to pursue your goals, regardless of the obstacles or doubts that arise. The more you share your plans, the more you rely on others to affirm your decisions. But the real strength comes from trusting your own instincts, from knowing that you have the ability to navigate through challenges and find your own way. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you begin to unlock your true potential. The quiet work of creation is sacred because it is untethered from the world's judgments and expectations. It is free from the pressures of comparison and competition. By working in silence, you give yourself the space to develop your vision fully, to refine it and make it your own. You allow it to grow without interference, and in doing so, you build something truly unique. The world will only recognize the greatness of your work once it is ready to be seen, once it has been fully realized. Until then, keep your plans to yourself. Let them grow in the privacy of your own thoughts, where they cannot be swayed by the opinions of others and where they are free to develop according to your will. When the time comes to reveal your work, it will speak for itself, and the world will listen. As you continue on your journey, there will inevitably be moments when the urge to share your progress feels overwhelming. The desire to have others acknowledge your hard work, to hear their approval, or even to receive their advice can be strong. However, in those moments, remember that the strength of your vision lies in its ability to stand on its own. Your commitment to the process, to the quiet work, will be far more valuable than any external validation. It is easy to get distracted by the noise, by the opinions of those around you, but those voices often lack the clarity and foresight to truly understand your path. They can only see the surface level, the outward progress, while the real depth of your work lies hidden beneath. This is why you must be discerning in whom you choose to share your plans with, and when you choose to do so. Not every conversation needs to be about your goals and ambitions. Not every person needs to know the intimate details of your journey. There is power in silence, and there is immense strength in knowing when to speak and when to remain quiet. Only when you have built a foundation strong enough to withstand criticism, and when you are certain that your vision is fully formed, should you consider revealing it. Until then, nurture it quietly in the solitude of your own space, where it can grow without the pressure of the world's opinions weighing it down. Over time, this practice of withholding your plans will not only protect your vision, but also cultivate a deeper sense of trust in your own ability to create. As you continue to work in silence, you will find that your confidence grows not from the recognition of others, but from your own quiet certainty that you are on the right path. It is this quiet determination that will carry you through when challenges arise, for you will have built your vision on a solid foundation that is unshaken by external forces. In conclusion, the act of keeping your plans private is not about isolation or secrecy, but about protecting the integrity and growth of your vision. It is about allowing your ideas to mature in the quiet spaces where they are free from external judgment, distraction, and interference. By withholding your plans, you give yourself the freedom to evolve, to fail, and to learn without the pressure of external validation.